Honor is back with its latest camera-focused phone, the Honor 200 Pro. How good are these cameras? And what other features does it offer? Let's dive into our full review to find out. Honor, originally a part of Huawei, but without its usual restrictions, has launched the Honor 200 Pro. Unlike Huawei, this phone supports Google Apps, services, and 5G support. The 200 Pro has impressive features, including triple rear cameras, a dual selfie setup, a powerful chipset, a curved OLED display, and fast charging. Its design is eye-catching too, with an oval-shaped chrome-accented camera bump. The finish is a mix of glossy and frosted, divided by a smooth curve that follows the phone's glass back as it wraps into the slim plastic frame. The Honor 200 Pros has a IP65 protection against dust and water, but it's not fully waterproof. The Honor 200 Pro has a 6.78-inch curved OLED display, with a sharp 1224p resolution, and a smooth 120Hz refresh rate. The screen delivers vibrant colors and great contrast at 437 ppi. At the top, there's a pill-shaped cutout for the selfie camera and depth sensor. It supports 10-bit color and HDR10 for high-quality video. In terms of brightness, it goes over 600 nits with the manual slider, and it can boost to 1100 nits in auto mode in bright sun. It's not perfect but decent for outdoor use. There's a 3 refresh rate modes: dynamic, high, and standard. The dynamic mode switches to 60 Hz in some apps, while the high mode keeps it at 120 Hz whenever possible. But when you're not using the screen, it will come down to save energy. The Honor 200 Pro uses Magic OS 8, based on Android 14. The interface feels similar to previous versions of Magic OS and includes all the Google apps, the Play Store, and Google services, unlike Huawei phones. It has some neat features, like the ability to long press certain apps to access their widgets. There's also a Magic Capsule feature that works like Apple's Dynamic Island, showing timers and shortcuts around the selfie camera cutout. The phone offers AI features too, like Magic Portal, which lets you drag items from your screen onto a bar, for quick access to search, email, or note-taking. Plus, it has an IR blaster, so you can control other devices with it. Honor promises 4 major OS updates and 5 years of security patches for the 200 Pro. The Honor 200 Pro comes with stereo speakers with impressive loudness, while the highs are clear, but the vocals and mid-tones are just average in quality. The Honor 200 Pro has a quick and reliable under-display fingerprint sensor. It comes with 256 or 512 GB, or 1 TB of storage, but you can't expand through microSD. The Honor 200 Pro is powered by the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 chipset, which is a bit less powerful than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. But don't worry, its performance is still impressive, perfect for gaming and multitasking. Thermal management is also important, and the 200 Pro does a good job here. While there was some throttling during our stress test, the performance remained relatively high overall. The Honor 200 Pro is powered by a large 5200 mAh battery, but its battery life is just average. In our tests, it scored 11 hours and 8 minutes of active use, which is not great for web browsing or gaming. The good news is that it supports fast 100-watt wired charging, and the charger comes in the box. With this charger, we were able to charge the phone from 0 to 75% in 30 minutes, and it took only 45 minutes to fully charge. Now, on to the cameras. The Honor 200 Pro comes with 50 megapixels main camera with a large sensor, a 50 megapixels telephoto camera with 2.5x zoom for close-up shots, and a 12 megapixels ultra-wide camera with autofocus. Honor is excited about the 200 Pro's portrait mode, which they created with Studio Hor, a famous photo studio in Paris, to capture their unique style portraits. When using the main camera for portrait shots, it does a great job of detecting subjects and creating a natural-looking background blur. The telephoto camera also takes nice photos with good detail and realistic skin tones. However, sometimes the portrait mode doesn't create any background blur at all. Hopefully, this can be fixed in a software update. Now, let's talk about the overall camera quality, starting with the main camera. It takes fantastic photos during the day, with plenty of detail, good dynamic range, and vibrant colors. There's also a natural mode here. In low light, the Honor 200 Pro doesn't automatically use night mode, but you can turn it on manually. Without night mode, highlights can be too bright, but the photos still have good detail, low noise, and nice colors. For 4K video, the main camera does a great job, with good detail, great contrast, and bright colors. The electronic stabilization keep the video smooth. It also captures decent low-light videos, showing good detail, dynamic range and colors, although there may be some noise, which is acceptable. Now onto the telephoto camera, which takes excellent pictures at 2.5x zoom. The dynamic range is good, impressive detail and the colors are decent. In low light, the telephoto camera captures plenty of detail, and the colors look nice, but it struggles a bit with dynamic range. However, switching to night mode improves these issues. When it comes to 4K video recording, the telephoto camera performs well, even better than some competitors. Let's move on to the ultra-wide camera. It takes nice photos with great detail in most of the frame, although sharpness drops slightly at the edges. The colors look good, and the dynamic range is usually excellent. This ultra-wide camera has autofocus, so you can use it for macro close-ups. With the super macro mode, you can shoot in its native view or apply digital zoom for some nice results, but unzoomed images are the sharpest. In low light, the ultra-wide camera can struggle with bright highlights, and the pictures can be a bit soft. However, turning on night mode helps by improving both exposure and sharpness. For 4K video, the ultra-wide camera performs well, providing decent detail, good dynamic range and color. The front-facing camera setup is impressive, featuring a 50-megapixel selfie camera along with a depth sensor to enhance portrait shots. Selfies look fantastic, offering lots of detail, a wide dynamic range, and natural skin tones. The only downside is that the camera has a fixed focus, but it still takes sharp photos from a reasonable distance. We also take some portrait shots with the selfie camera. They still do a great job with subject detection and create a decent blur. So, that's the Honor 200 Pro. It has a nice design, a good chipset, fast charging, and great cameras, especially for portraits and selfies. On the downside, it doesn't have full waterproofing, the zoom isn't as strong as some other phones, and the bigger selfie cutout might not be for everyone. If you like the video, give the big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching guys. Stay safe and see you in the next one.